Hello, I'm Jack, and right now I want to talk about the masculine and feminine duality, as it seems to be a heavy hitter for people, most people, because it's what we constantly deal with in our lives. I mean, we bump into men and women, but I do want to note that it's not limited to just humans, as we know. Animals can be masculine and feminine. They can be men or women, people or animals, which are people. Don't leave us out of the animal category. So we can also see it in plants if we wanted to. I mean, flowers have piston and stamens, so we can see the masculine and feminine actually in any aspect of life we want to see it. But the way to do that is to see the qualities, not necessarily saying that you have to have a penis in order to be masculine and you have to have a vagina in order to be feminine. So men are not only masculine and women are not only feminine. So I'm not trying to make them into absolutes. So when I generalize the qualities of the masculine energy and archetype, I'm not saying they're absolutely like this, or let's say I'm telling this to a man. I'm not saying they're absolutely masculine, and same with women. I'm not saying they're absolutely feminine. I'm just saying these are the qualities that I feel when I'm experiencing what I feel like is a masculine energy. And I say, well, these are the qualities that I'm seeing. And same with the feminine. So we can go in and out of either one depending on the situation. So there are some situations where I'm more masculine, and there are other situations where I'm more feminine. I'm not, it really just depends. So, and the same with, like, let's say really masculine men that really favor that side of life. They still have feminine qualities and they still show them. It just may not be as much, It may be a 90-10 split. It may be a 60-40 split. Who knows? Everyone's different. But what I want to show is just the qualities because our relationships will be much, much smoother. We understand where they're coming from. So what I tell people, what I tell men at least, when talking to me and asking me questions about why women do the things that they do, usually their partner in the relationship, they did something and they're just like, what is going on? I'm just generally saying my advice is you're not really a man until you can be a woman. And what I'm trying to say is that until you know where the woman is coming from, you'll never know what she's trying to say. It's the whole walk a mile in their shoes. But it's not just walk in their shoes because we can still walk in their shoes and just be like, God, this is so ridiculous. So we're not really being empathetic on a deeper level. Yes, we're walking in their shoes and we're seeing their surroundings, but we're still viewing their surroundings from our perception, from our eyes. So the next step in walking a mile in their shoes is to walk a mile in their shoes with their perceptions. And that's the hard part because we have to see how they see life. And it takes more energy, yes, it may be more draining. But if we really care about where they're coming from, we got to take a step in their shoes, which is a good start, and then we have to feel life as they feel life. So in these conflicts, masculine and feminine conflicts, we butt heads, and the fight is usually just about, or we're thinking to ourselves, how on earth could they have seen life that way? Why did they do what they did? And so we get caught up in that, and we don't know how to speak the other's language. So men speak Martian, women speak Venusian, and we don't know how to speak their language. So what I'm trying to do is give people a different understanding, which probably most of this stuff. I just may phrase it in a different way that may make more sense and may be more direct, which leads me into a quality of the masculine. Direct. Men are pretty direct. You just say what you want, and then that's it. Don't have to deal with hurting other people's feelings. So it's the whole do what you want to do. Who gives a shit about other people? It's the whole do you. So that's to me is more masculine quality, because in women, in the feminine, I see more of a, well, you can't just say whatever. I mean, you're going to hurt their feelings. Aren't you, don't you consider their feelings when expressing yourself? And so that's being PC, politically correct. So to me, that's more feminine because it's caring about other people's feelings. So, you know, we have that dynamic of masculine saying it doesn't matter what anyone else says or what anyone else feels about what you're going to say. You just say it. You just say what you got to say. And then the feminine is no, 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 no. Keep your mouth shut. You know, we don't want to disrupt the system, disrupt the community, because you know we all have feelings and we have relationships to consider and take care of. So it's the nature versus nurture. Nature, when we look at it that way, it seems harsh. You know, life's unfair. The nurturing side is more of a you know, like a mama's boy, sort of. You know, mom's taking care of the boy and just giving him whatever it is. You know, if he's nature versus nurture is just masculine versus feminine. It's just we're describing it a different way. So so we have, you know, just simple qualities like that. And the masculine quality, along with being direct, efficiency. So you know, we're planning our strategy because we have a mission to accomplish and a goal to reach. And so in that, I got to be really focused. And so all those are very masculine qualities, because we have something to accomplish. We have something to figure out. That's why I'm, you know, handy men. We don't say handy women too often. Why? Because they don't really want to do the same stuff that men want to do in terms of figuring things out. It's like if something's broken, usually the woman or the feminine is looking to the man. When are you going to fix this? I don't know how to fix it. You know, or the feminine saying, I don't know how to fix it. I don't know anything about tools. I don't know how they work. You just get it done. And then the man's like, yeah, I'm gonna figure out how this works. So lead me to my mission, lead me to my goal. I gotta go to the workshop, I gotta go to the office, and I gotta figure this out. And so masculine's very calculating, very intellectual, formulaic, methodical. So just we can see those qualities, you know, in the words, feel the qualities, and then we can see those in life and what parts of society are more masculine or more feminine. So in those intellectually calculating strategies, we have the flip side, the feminine, which is, we'll just say, I'm going to generalize and try not to be offended. I'm going to say it's going to be more relaxed. You know, it's a more, the world's not over. To the man that makes that mission, the world, that finite mission, the world, yeah, if that's not accomplished, the world will be over because that is their entire world. But the feminine is just like, it's not the end of the world. You're still going to be here tomorrow. But the man's like, yeah, but you don't get it. I'm going to fail. I don't like failing. And she'll be like, failing's okay. You know, people fail all the time. So the flip side is more relaxed. Just chill. Just relax. You know, it's not a big deal. And so in that intellectually calculating masculine side, we have the emotional side. So we have the dramatic side that most men seem to not like. You know, there's the whole no drama, leave out the drama. So that's a very masculine perception. But why is that? It's because there's another duality within the masculine and feminine, intellect and emotion. So the intellectual energy is more calculating. It's more formulaic, methodical. And then the emotional side, it seems like there's no thought at all. That's why men are just like, you're just reacting. It doesn't even seem like you're thinking. You're just saying what you feel. And she's like, yeah, well, what else am I supposed to do? I don't know where this stuff's coming from. This is just what I feel in the moment. And it may be really dramatic, but that's what the men can't understand because it's so intellectual to them that they have to have an explanation. And for the feminine, it's just like, why do I have to give you an explanation? Why can't I just feel what I feel and I don't even know why? So that's the emotional, dramatic side. And women seem to like that. I mean, that's why women like to start drama in a way, but men don't, the masculine energy don't really seem to understand where that place is coming from. But I made another video about war, which is just conflict, and what I was saying was that in conflict, when we fight about stuff, make it dramatic, all we're saying is that I love you this much. I'm showing you how much this means to me, and we're making a relationship. So two people fighting, even in war, are basically saying, this is how much I love you. I want to show you what I care about and how much I care about it. And I'm trying to open you up to that. Yes, it seems backwards to say we're going to fight over it, but when we do fight, that's what we're saying. When I fight with whoever, I'm just saying, it seems like you don't understand where I'm coming from, and this is how much I care that you understand. So it's the same, I feel like it's the same with the feminine. So there are times where I get vibes where, from personal experience and listening to other people's experiences, where the fight seems to come out of nowhere. But that's that masculine side where you can't really see a reason. The feminine side, the emotional side, is it seems like they're starting a fight just to see if you care about them. They'll do just the littlest thing out of nowhere, and it's almost like, I'm just going to test him to see if he really wants to be with me. Because if he doesn't fight for me, then he doesn't care for me. So I don't even know what this fight's going to be about. I'm just going to make a fight. And so then they make a fight, or they make something so that the guy will fight over, and then if he blows up, she'll be like, yeah, he loves me. He's still with me. So you have that, and to the men, it's like, it's the masculine. It's just like, what? Why am I fighting? Why do I have to do this? But she's just testing the relationship, and it seems like, yeah, she may not say that in the moment. One, because she doesn't want to admit to it, that she's making a fight so that she's just seeing if he's committed. So that's another aspect to the feminines being PC. Referring back to the first quality that I said in the masculine, it's direct. Just who cares what the other person feels. You just say what you got to say. Do what you got to do, and screw everyone else, because it's all about what you want. You want something, you go get it. It's the Nikes, just do it. But there's the other side, PC, being PC. You can't say certain things because other people may not like that. They may not know how to deal with what we're gonna say, because we have a bunch of stuff that we could say to people and it hits heavy. So we have to consider their feelings rather than destroying their whole reality because we're gonna say something that's too far. Being PC limits that, and it's saying, PC, politically correct, is saying, I care about other people's feelings. So there is a duality with the masculine not caring about anyone's feelings. Just say it, just express yourself. Screw everyone else who can't deal with it. That's their issue. No, it's also their, whoever's saying it too, because that's the feminine side. It's their issue. I don't have to say what I'm going to say. But so how can we join those two of being direct and authentically expressing ourselves while also being PC and considerate of other people's feelings? So, we can see particular aspects of life where it's the whole be authentic, say whatever you're going to say, screw everyone else if they can't handle it. But it's not all about that. It's also about being PC. And that's more the feminine side. So, like I was saying with relationships earlier with the feminine, they care about other people's feelings. So, and they'll beat around the bush, in many different ways, just so that the relationship stays intact. And they may suppress a lot of stuff. So So it kind of ties into being supportive. So the masculine is on that mission, trying to figure something out, and the feminine is more supportive. That's why we have men that go out in the office, and then when they come home, they're just like, oh, I had such a busy day working, and then the feminine is more of like, oh, I'm here for you, I'm whatever you need, I'll do it for you. I'm supporting you right now. So, I mean, even when the really masculine man goes off, let's say they're an athlete or something, the woman's always there by his side. So there's that masculine and feminine duality where the feminine is there to emotionally support an intellectually calculating man. So the man's usually on that mission, and then the woman is there for that support, that emotional support. We can see that in athletics with players, and then we have the cheerleaders. They're cheering them on. They're all trying to get them happy. Everything's fine, and the masculine very serious. You can't joke in athletics. Well, I mean, people do, but notice you can't break the focus. You can't, in a tennis match, you can't just yell out right before they're about to serve because it's breaking the focus and they're trying to accomplish a mission. That's the intellectual side where don't let your emotions get the best of you. But why is intellect the best of us? Why isn't there a saying that says, don't let our intellect get the best of us? So we can see that favoritism, that ego, where we're saying the masculine and the intellect is better than emotions in that sense. So we can see that in athletics, like I was saying, you can't joke. The referee can't call the ball out just to play with the players or mess with them. Because the players are serious. They're like, what? That was out? That's so ridiculous. I can't believe you're calling that. And then the ref's just like, I'm just kidding. Just relax. It's not the end of the world. I'm just playing with you. And they're just like, that is so unprofessional. So there's that masculine feminine duality. Being professional seems to be more masculine. Being unprofessional seems to be more feminine. I'm not trying to say women aren't professionals, but I'm just saying I'm talking about the qualities. And we can see these qualities in a lot of different aspects. So I know I just mentioned some, but let's just look at driving to a destination. So the masculine, being efficient, will probably want to take the highway because there are fewer turns, you can go faster, it goes around the city, it's more open, more lanes, more space, so you can get there faster. So it's direct, or not as direct, but it's efficient. So the feminine, however, might want a different route, a more glamorous route, a sparkly one. So they may want to go the scenic route because they want to see some stuff. They want to experience the culture of the people. So they say, let's just go through town. And then the masculine's like, why? There's so many stoplights. There's so many turns. It's so dense. We got to go through these smaller roads. Who knows what construction's going to be there? All these variables to calculate. And then the feminine is just like, but this is a whole culture in a town. Like, let's experience the people. Let's see what's here, and let's just see what the town's about. Let's see what the energy's about. The emotional relationships that people have in the town. So they'll want to go through the city, and then the man's like, feeling more masculine. It's just like, oh my God, this is going to take so much time. And so we can see that in just driving. We can see it in meals. So the masculine side is probably going to want bigger meals, though they don't really care about making the dish look nice or look pretty. It's all about the nutrients. Just get the nutrients you want, and that's it. It doesn't quite matter what it tastes like, what it looks like. But on the feminine side, they don't really care so much. I mean, it depends if they want to go on a diet, but usually you just put together a meal or different foods so that they make a pretty dish, and it's usually smaller, and it looks really nice. So they're not looking for nutritional content in that sense. They're looking for aesthetic appeal. And so you'll have useless or impractical um, garnishes on the dish, just little pieces of leaves floating around, and then the masculine's just like, what are you ever gonna do with those leaves? It's not really, you're gonna have to eat like a ton of those leaves in order to get anything out of them. But the feminine is just like, it looks pretty, okay? And then the masculine saying, there's like nothing there. It's a half a plate of glob basically, and they're like, I want a meal. I want to eat an animal. I want to fill myself up, and I want to get as much in as I can. So we can see that fight, in terms of practicality and glamour. So notice we can even see it in cars. So a practical car would be efficient for what you want to get done. It has all the tools for what you want to use it for. The feminine side is making it look pretty. And so we have flashy lights, colors, designs, exterior designs. And so there's that, that glamorous side that's on the feminine. That's the whole look at me. It's just like putting on makeup, doing our hair really big, wearing sparkly clothes, sparkly lotion. What do sparkles mean? Do they really do much in terms of practicality and use? Not so much biologically, but in terms of dating, yeah, because it's saying, look at me. It's saying I want you to look at me, and so I'm going to put on flashy lights. I'm going to put on sparkles. I'm going to put on makeup and blush and do my hair really big so it stands out. It doesn't look normal, and if it doesn't look normal, oh, I notice you. And then she's saying, yep, you notice me. And then you go about the whole dating thing that way. So we can see the practical and glamorous side. The practical side would just be like, you just put on a t-shirt because that's what you wear. I mean, you're just covering up your nipples essentially because people are offended by seeing nipples. So the very masculine side wouldn't care if there are holes in the shirt. Doesn't matter what kind of shoes you wear. It doesn't matter, heels. How practical are heels? You can't run away in heels, so you're vulnerable in that sense. Really, heels just push you up so that your calves look more defined and your legs look longer. So it's that glamorous side. But the masculine is like, let's just wear tennis shoes out to the club. That would be a very practical thing because they're standing for a long time. So it'll be like, yeah, I'm standing. Why wouldn't I wear something comfortable? I'm standing for hours. I'm dancing, and let's say something bad happens. Someone's trying to mug me. I can then run away really fast. So it's all practicality in terms of the masculine side. Feminine side is really glamorous. So, like I was saying, we can see that in many different aspects of life. Buying cars, even masculine men can buy in a really feminine way by saying, I'm going to buy this really fancy red car with a big spoiler that doesn't really need to be there because they're not driving fast enough to even make any use out of that spoiler. So it's just like the big hair in women when they dress up. So that big spoiler is big hair. It's just for men, and they do it with cars. Red paint, flashy lights, all these doodads that's in the car, and so even men can be feminine in that sense and trying to attract someone else's attention. So we can see it in driving cars, we can see it in driving to a destination, we can see it in making meals, we can see it in athletics, in art, science, we can see it in government, we can see it in religion. We can see the masculine and feminine duality within religions. Most of the time we don't see them because religion is a pretty heavy one. I was talking about smaller ones toward the end, and most of us will say, yeah, I see that masculine and feminine duality, But when we go up to something heavier, that's much more encompassing, that's such a bigger arena. It's hard to see the masculine and feminine duality, but we can see masculine and feminine dualities in Christianity, Buddhism. It doesn't really matter. New Age religion, we can see that dynamic at play in terms of, you know, who and what the people are, and what side they're playing. But mainly, I just wanted to show this on a human level, just on a daily basis, just so we can communicate a little bit easier, because it seems like it's a little bit more difficult. Like I was saying, if men speak Martian and women speak Venusian, our conflicts are harder to deal with because we're both yelling at each other in different languages. And so I just wanted to show the two languages in simplistic ways. I mean, there are many different dimensions within the masculine and feminine, but that's up to you to see and play around with them, and just, you know, when someone does something a certain way, you know, you can try and feel into it. Is it a more masculine or feminine vibe? And if so, you'll know how to counter that, because then you can play whatever archetype you want, a masculine or feminine, in the moment. So it's really just trying to give you options and tools. Another masculine side. So I'm playing the more masculine role right now, being a coach, giving advice, giving you tools. You go figure out how to fix the problem. So I'm playing a more masculine role right now, and that's okay. You know, like I was saying, it's not like one's better than the other. It's just whichever one we're playing in the moment, and we may not understand why someone would be more feminine and where they're coming from. So yes, I hope you can take something away from this, and as always, thank you for doing what you do. It really means a lot to me, which probably will be my next video. I've been feeling into that one a little bit. So, thank you.